Hey guys, and it's Flight Sim today here. I just want to say thank you for watching this video. The content you're about to watch was taken originally from Airline to Sim, who are no longer training. You cannot even get this program anymore. It's gone. Originally £40, it was an in-depth and really good resource for the A320, which is still relevant today if you're using the Phoenix program. Originally hosted by Ben, and they had a guy called James who was a real airline A320 pilot. I will be taking the 27 episodes where possible, snipping them up into much smaller chunks, making it easier for you to digest, and maybe you don't want to learn one thing but learn another. So if that's your thing, please do subscribe so that you can keep up to date with all the new videos that will be coming out over the coming weeks and related to this.
So we're here at the lights.
Yeah.
I love aeroplane lights.
Oh, they're great, aren't they?
All right, so we've already talked about some of these. The nose, the taxi and the takeoff, we talked about that on the walk around.
Yeah.
So we kind of know what they do.
Yeah.
And then the runway turnoff, which is just hidden here below the strobe. You can't quite see the thing, but there you go. Right, so we talked about that. Let's talk about the landing lights along the bottom.
Yeah.
If we have a look under the wings, we can see them, right?
Yeah, that's right. In the moment, you can see they're in the retract position.
Yeah.
So they have the retract, off, and on. They're the three positions that you've got.
Okay.
So if you put them to off, then they will come out, but the lights won't come on. They will physically extend from the wings, but the lights won't come on. And then if you put them to on, the lights will turn on.
Okay. So it seems to me a bit weird why you would want to have them out, like dangling down in the airflow, but not switched on.
The only reason I can think of is because if they want to do maintenance on the bulbs, so they want to replace the bulb, so rather than having to sort of scrabble with it in the wing, they get it to come down,
and then they can get to it easier.
That's all I can think of.
It.
On the line, you would use retract or on.
Okay,
There's
so you
no
don't use
reason
the off
to
position.
No, there's no, because if you got them extended, you're already getting the drag from them being out. You may as well put the light on.
Do you actually get? Is it noticeable? Can you hear? Do they make a noise, or do you get any does the vertical speed increase a bit because you've got a bit more drag?
Like in the climate, if you haven't retracted them by about 250 knots, you can feel this, like you can feel the whole airframe slightly vibrating.
Really?
And the quicker you go, the worse it gets, and you can feel it as a passenger.
Okay.
You can actually feel it sort of like. It's like you're going across a slightly bumpy road. It's like because it's the airflow coming from it. But yeah, in the descent, if you put them out, they add about 100 to 200 feet per minute in the descent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if you need a little bit of extra descent, then put the landing lights.
That's what they do. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. All right. And then along the top row, the strobes are pretty straightforward. We know about that. Those big, really strong, kind of strobing lights.
Yeah. Exactly.
The Airbus has a famous double strobe, right?
Yeah, it has. I don't know why. I think it's a French thing again. Where they were just like, we'll do it this way because
we'll just do it this way because it's nice.
Yeah.
We like lights. Paris is the city of lights.
Exactly.
So they thought, why not more lights?
This is what you'll learn with the Airbuses. They did a lot of things their own way. Some of them you kind of go, that makes sense. Like the dark cockpit concept. The other ones you just go, all right.
Okay.
Fine. You do you. It's like
That's
whatever
good.
you want.
All right.
Yeah.
So so it's a double strobe. So it's strobe.
Yeah.
Strobe.
Yeah.
Whereas on a Boeing, it's strobe.
I'm sure they had their reason, probably to do with being easier to notice, because it's like, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that?
It's an Airbus.
Yeah. So I think they've obviously got their own reason for it, but I'm not sure why.
Now there is an auto. There's an off button.
Yeah.
Which is off position, which is straightforward. There's also an auto position. Yeah. So what does that do?
So auto is, I like to think of it as that, I forgot to turn them on, but they're going to come on anyway position, which is what a lot of people leave it in. So once you taxi out, so right now, if we were doing the flow, we would leave them in auto.
Okay, so at the moment it's in off.
Yeah, so if we put it in auto, the lights not come on, and then what will happen is as soon as the aircraft leaves the ground, so it detects that there's no weight on the wheels anymore, the lights will come on.
Okay, so if we forget to put the strobes on,
they're going to come on.
As soon as we leave the ground, they'll automatically come on.
Yeah.
Okay, and then if we're in the on position, that automatically, so they will just come on.
They just come on. Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
All right, cool. No problem. So we leave it in auto.
Yeah.
So basically, we get on the aeroplane, we start the thing, auto, and then at the end of the day, when we're finished, would we leave it in auto for the turnarounds? If we did 3 or 4 turnarounds, we'd leave it in auto.
I leave it in auto, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the only time we would turn it to off is at the end of the day, back at base, we turn it to off.
Yeah, that's it. Because then it's sort of securing it down for the next crew.
All right, okay. We've got the beacon. That's the big red light.
Yeah, the big light on the bottom of the top, and then
is there one on the top, one on the bottom? Is that it?
Yeah, there is, but you can't obviously check the one on the top because it's on the top. But yeah, there is one up there. Yeah.
Okay, the wing lights we talked about.
Yeah.
They illuminate the wings a better view for the passengers, really, than the crew.
Yeah, it's a good view. And, for us, it's to check for ice. That's what it's for, as we said before. But also, they have quite a funny function in flight. I've seen someone do it once and it worked, where if you're flying past someone, you flash them. Then they can see it and they flash it back.
Really?
That's really fun.
So it's like a little
That's
kind
really
of pilot
fun. Yeah,
gag.
it's pretty good. I love it. I saw him do it. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And then I saw the flights. I was like, "No way!" He went, "Yeah, they saw it because they are pretty bright."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, "That's amazing."
That's quite cool.
Yeah.
All right, and then obviously we talked about the nav and logo like earlier on, and that's all pretty straightforward.